Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I'm a medium, and this podcast is for those who wish to understand the wonderful world of spirit. Where do we go when we die? I'll share stories of mine as a medium and other mediums in our journeys, plus you will hear real life client readings so that you can know without any doubt that your loved ones in spirit are around you all the time. I'm Jen, and this is the Singing Medium Podcast. Isn't that a catchy song? Sometimes I'm like, should I change the theme song? And I'm like, no, it's awesome. So I'm sitting here. I just finished teaching medium level 1. And if you hear me, I'm spraying some very amazing Florida water that my friend Charlene from Moonflowers, that is a beautiful metaphysical store here in Beaverton, Ontario, gifted me when I was sick because I really needed some clearing. And I really like it. The smell is amazing. It is good for clearing me. I just feel lighter, get the heavy stuff off. So if you want some of that, go and visit her at her store here in Beaverton. She has lots of amazing items in her store, and she's a great person. Okay, so let's get into the podcast today. I don't think I have any announcements for you. The idea for today's podcast is going to be, we're going to recap just briefly some of my predictions that have come true. And then I have 2 new ones. I only have 2. And I'll explain the reason why I only have 2 new ones. And I think I might have talked about this on the last episode of when I was sick. So I was sick. I had COVID for 2 weeks and lying in bed for a long time, doing nothing, not able to do anything or go on your phone or anything. You can do a lot of thinking. And I was lying there getting really annoyed because I felt like there had been a psychic attack. Now, I know a lot of you are DMing me and asking me to do an episode on psychic attack, but I'm not going to today. I will at some future time. I will. I said to Spirit, I was like, I cannot do this anymore. Like this, I am tired of, because of my gifts being attacked for that, or people jealous or sending me negative energy, whatever people are doing, witchcraft, I don't know. But I was just really tired of it and frustrated. And I'm like, okay, turn it off. I want to turn off my gifts, but I was like, oh, I better not do the whole gift of my psychic abilities, because then I can't do my readings that I still have to do. So my intention, very strong intention, was to please not give me any more future predictions about the globe or the world or Canada, Australia. I didn't want to receive any more of those. And because I felt like everything I'm putting out there was like being attacked, like on TikTok is like, oh, that's not going to happen. I'm like, okay. And then whatever happens. So just being super frustrated in that moment, but I made sure I didn't turn off all my gifts, which is before I wouldn't have been able to like turn the dial to just specific parts of my gift. But I was able to this time. So I was like, oh, I don't have anything. Like, what am I going to tell the audience? What am I going to write as a blog prediction? I don't have anything to share, anything new anyways, but 2 have snuck in. 2 predictions have snuck in, and I hope I wrote down the new one, because okay, there it is. I was like, oh my gosh, what was the second one? Because I just received it right before I came on to record the podcast. So welcome to the podcast. If you're new here, my name is Jen. I am a psychic medium. I am sort of in between what I'm going to do, what am I not going to do. If you're worried about me getting that job, I have not heard. I don't think I got the job, which I'm completely 100% okay with. The interview, I haven't had an interview in like 10 plus years. And it was so weird doing this. I was on Zoom, doing this interview on Zoom. It was like the questions I was being asked, I was like, oh my gosh, my brain does not compute this. I'm so used to, being out of my mind, literally in the psychic realm, or I'm in the spirit world, or I'm, being creative with something else that has to do with my spirit school or things, teaching classes. And I was like, I couldn't make my brain fit or shrink back to my old ways of teaching. So this was for like a family worker working with kids and families in the community. And I was like, I couldn't wrap my head around this. The answers were, I kept a couple of things. I just slipped out I had 2 interviewers, and a couple of times I said, something about my higher self. And I'm like, shut up. Don't say higher self. These people are normal. They don't want to know that you're psychic. They don't want to know that you're what's your higher self? That's not a normal thing to say. So just be quiet, Jen. But a couple times things slipped out. And I was like, oh man, this is a disaster. Oh my God. I'm not surprised if I not get this job. And I thought about it after. I'm like, I'm okay with not doing it. And it's funny when you start to think about maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. You start to think, well, maybe it's not for me. It's not working. That's when things sometimes turn around. So there was a little bit of a turnaround after me getting sick. And so we'll see what happens. But yeah, sometimes you feel called back to do something else and maybe have to do both, have a balance kind of thing. But so anyways, I'm just going to keep on keeping on. That's what I'm doing right now. Mostly doing psychic work. I'm mostly in the psychic realm because it's not that I don't love mediumship. I think I've mentioned this before, is that psychic for me comes a lot easier. Being psychic is more natural to me, even though I was not born with this. I had to train to do this. Anyone can train to be psychic. Anyone can train to be a medium. It helps if you have an interest in it. But yeah, so that's for me. So anyways, I'm going to recap some of the psychic predictions that have come true recently with the Queen's passing. Now, there's a little bit of a discussion on the TikTok, as always there is, about a lot of psychics predicted that the Queen was going to pass. Now, we can argue that's like a obvious thing because she was 96-ish, I believe, and I think she was sick, or I don't know. But so the common comment that is on my videos regarding this is like, well, she was 96, so you didn't predict it. And they have a point. But if you go back to one of my blog posts, it was September 2001 that I said the Queen was going to pass. And it took 1 year, a September prediction to come to fruition because she died obviously in September of this month, the other day. So it counts. So my timeline, if I say September, it's either that September, the next September, or the September after, because I am 2 years ahead. I can see 2 years in the future. So that's why I put that down. Queen Elizabeth will pass in September. So that happened. But we can argue that she was 96. But a lot of psychics that I see on social media were all tapping into this energy of her passing. So that came true. My big win for the week was that I had predicted, and I had gone back and forth with this. I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this one. I was actually worried it was going to be wrong, which I'm fine with it being wrong. A lot of my things haven't happened, or maybe they're wrong. But with the Conservative in Canada, we're in Canada here, the Conservative Party had to elect a new leader, and I had predicted that Pierre Poilievre was going to win. And as it got closer to the results, I'm like, oh man, I just happened to read a Toronto Star article that had said he's not going to win. I'm like, oh crap, I'm going to be wrong about this one. And then I went to bed that night, and I guess it happened around really late at night. So the next morning I checked, it was like ding, 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 ding. All these posts about Pierre. I'm like, oh, I got it right. I was like so excited that I got this right, because that was one of the things I was like, oh, I'm not 100% sure about this one. It could go either way. His timeline is a little wonky just because he's not being completely honest. Obviously, he's a politician, but he's promising all these things, and then I feel like he's going to go back on them. I feel like he's part of the plan. But anyways, that's another story. So those were the two. The Pierre Poilievre one was a big win for me this week. So the prediction. So then going back a little bit further, some other things that have come true was Princess Eugenie will suffer a loss. And I feel like she's the one who had a miscarriage. There was a lot of royal energy this year. I would hear that song, and we're going to be royal. That song. I heard that a lot this year, which isn't even a new song. There was another song that I kept hearing, like Queen songs, things like this. I can't remember the exact song that I would hear, but I knew it was getting stronger, that the Queen was going to pass sooner and sooner and sooner. All the times that I heard this song playing on the radio, which doesn't, like, it's songs that are not like new. There's no song about a queen, I don't think. A lot of royal energy. And then in the past, there was also another prediction that came true. I had written down a royal member will pass, and that was Prince Philip. Prince Philip. I don't think he was king. I'm not sure, but a royal member passing. So I also have predicted him passing. A lot of royal energy, government energy coming in with my predictions lately, you know? So then another one that had come true was Disney World will have employees arrested. So there was like a horrible underground tunnel system vision that I had last year about Disney World, and that, you know, I don't really want to get into this, but like the taking kids, stuff like that, it's like designed to take kids, which is horrible. But there's been a lot of arrests of people who have worked there. There was one who worked at the pool or the splash pad. He got arrested. There was another one that, like a sting that they had. It all came true. So that happened. So that's good news. Another prediction that I have from last year, maybe 2 years, actually 2 years in March, Britney Spears will be freed. That has happened. She got out of her conservatorship. She won. She's free. Whatever that looks like, whatever freedom feels like to you. I guess if you're a celebrity, you're not completely free, you know, but I was referring to that conservatorship. So that happened. Another one that I have, going back through the past predictions that have come true, just to give you some validation. One of them was a white tower will mysteriously blow up. Now, I don't remember what the name of that tower was that blew up, but that was about a few months ago. It had something to do with the World Economic Forum and just all this shady kind of government stuff that was going on with this building. They had buried something under it. I can't remember what it was called. I apologize. That happened. One of my predictions was also empty grocery shelves. This is like a continuation. Empty grocery shelves happened for a bit, and then they're probably going to happen again in the future. And then my other prediction that happened so far was gas was going to be 2 cents a liter. And thank goodness that is not true anymore. Thank goodness. So those are just a few of my predictions that have come true. There are so many. Like when I was starting to feel better in bed, I was going through all of my predictions. There's like 8 pages of the blog of my psychic predictions. So it takes a long time to go through them all, but I wanted to find someone. I wanted to find some of them that, you know, I could put out and say, okay, this happened, and just like sort of restock what I had predicted. And there's a lot of information there. So if you ever are bored one day and you want to go back through all my predictions, which I recommend, just so you can see some of the things that have happened and wondering what's going to happen next. And will this happen? I don't know. But usually a spirit, if I get this from the psychic realm, it's going to happen at some point. I just don't know when, because again, there's no time. Time doesn't really exist. One of the things I would like to improve, and I haven't found a class I could take yet about this. One of the things I would like to improve about my psychic skills is timing. I would like to know, like if I say September, is it this September? Is it next September? Is it the September after? And I would like to work on my dates, like give a really cool, like Nostradamus. Like he would be like, in 15 years from now, November 9th, this is going to happen. You know, I really would like to hone that skill. I think that would be, and then that would sort of get the skeptics maybe off my back a little bit. Who knows? But so when you're practicing being a psychic, you're going to get little things like this. And so you need to work on your timing. Like when is this? Because psychic ability and psychic predictions are based on a timeline, right? So it helps to have that. So, okay. Oh, I didn't mean to yell that. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So let me see. I'm getting my notes out here. And I have only 2 predictions for you. One is in the States, one is in the US, and one is in Canada, which this one I'm seeing on my notes right now on my phone. I kind of feel like it could go international. And I don't have, unfortunately, because they just came in like an hour ago, I don't have a time frame. I'm going to see right now if I can tap into a time frame. Let me see here. This one I'm going to tell you about now. It's a pretty big deal. I think it's going to happen within 6 months. I'm going to say within 6 months. Maybe, what's it right now? September. So October. Yeah, like early spring, this could happen. Or it could happen like really soon. But I'm going to say spring of 2023. Okay. And so the first one that I got is kind of a big deal. The second one is not a big deal. It's about celebrity. So like, whatever about celebrities. You might be super into celebrities. I don't know. I'm not, but there's one about a celebrity. So the first prediction that I got, I remember it had to seep in or sneak into my mind because I have turned it off. I have on purpose said I don't want to receive these psychic predictions for the world any longer. And it's almost like Spirit saying, no, Jen, you have a job to do here. Literally, why you're here is to let people know, get them prepared, maybe warn them, whatever term you want to use. And I feel like part of my job and why I'm so highly tuned in the psychic realm is to help people prepare for what is to come, because there'll be comments on TikTok like, well, I don't subscribe to that, or I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm like, well, that's great, but it's not going to happen. So, it's just hard to believe. Oh, that's what I do want to talk about is that purge prediction that I have. So I had a crazy prediction a while ago. I don't remember how long it was. It's not that long ago. Maybe 3 months ago, 6 months, not even that. About there was going to be a real life, the Purge movie, that was going to transpire somehow into the real world, and there was going to be an announcement about similar storyline to what I don't watch these horror movies. I don't know. All I know is that the premise of this movie is that there's like one day a week or a couple days a year where the government and the police are like, you have like 24 hours, 48 hours. You can do whatever you want. Any crime you want, you can commit any crime. You can kill someone. You can rape someone. You can kidnap someone. You can literally do whatever you want for like a certain time frame, and you will not be in trouble for this. It was like population, something like that. And so one of the predictions that I had, and it's one of the blog posts, is like there was going to be a real life purge, and I was like, what? How is there going to be a real life purge? Like, I also think I had done a prediction about there was going to be a real life Squid Game. And there was there was an article a couple of weeks later of like, they're going to do Squid Games for real. And I'm like, wow. So this purge one came up. I came across this, I think someone sent it to me actually in a DM on Instagram. I was like, are you kidding me? This actually is real? This is happening? Yeah. So there was a TikTok video, and it was there was a policeman doing an announcement. He's like, this is very serious, and it's in Chicago, so go look it up. I'll put a link to the article in the show notes here, so please like, subscribe, and share this podcast. It really helps me get it out there, get more people listening to the podcast. And if you're listening, thank you so much for listening. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate it. I know the podcast is very small, but I've been getting feedback that people in other countries, other provinces are listening to the podcast, and it makes me so excited. And I know I always put down TikTok, but I found out the other day that I actually had a follower from TikTok transfer over to Instagram, found me on TikTok. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know anything would come out of TikTok. So that was super cool to meet someone from the States as well. But yeah, the purge thing is going to come true. So next February, I believe they're going to have, it's not exactly like the movie. They're not going to say everyone can go kill everybody else, but it's very, very similar. So yeah, like I think I have said before, the crazier, the more likely it's going to come true. Like Squid Game came true that I said, the Purge movie is coming. Like it's just wackadoodle. I'm telling you, I don't understand what's going on with this world, but I try not to think about it too much or I might go crazy. So you might be in the same boat as me. So, okay, let's get to the new predictions. All right. So the first prediction I got is there's going to be train blockades. Sorry, not blockages. They're going to be train blockades. So because the government is doing so many things with our food and the fertilizer with the farmers and grain and things like this, and putting crickets in our food, which like is mind-boggling to me, that I want to tell you, check your labels. Okay. So if you're listening right now, check your labels. They're sneaking it in there. It is in the ingredient list that actually lists it as crickets. Okay. And you just don't know that you're eating it. There's another scientific name for not their blood, but like, I don't know, something weird about in juice. Okay. I'm seeing that as well. So just check your labels. It will say crickets on it. I don't think you want to eat crickets. And I'd be super pissed if I like was eating something and then I if I like got a bag of Lay's ridged sour cream and onion chips and I turned the ingredients and it said crickets, I'd be like, are you kidding me? I would lose my mind. Okay. Or if they put it in Starburst candy, I'd be like, oh my God, I can't handle this. So speaking of TikTok, before I keep going on with this prediction, explain it to you. I like to have like little candy and snacks and little mini chocolate bars in my nightstand, which needs to be organized. But on TikTok, I freaking love watching videos of people organize their house. Like there was this one video and I'm like, oh, I don't feel so bad anymore. She's like, I got to prepare my nightstand for my snacks. You got to watch Netflix and scroll TikTok, but you got to have snacks in your nightstand. So if you have any snacks in your nightstand, let me know in a DM on Instagram, elevate.hersoul, because I think this is so cool. You know, those dividers, those plastic dividers. Well, all that I'm obsessed with these organizing videos where she puts all the chips and the chocolate bars and the granola bars and like the drinks, and I was like, and the candy. I'm like, oh my God, I need to do this because I'm out of my candy. So I like to have little snacks before I go to sleep, you know, have a little Mars bar, have a little Starburst. So if they ever put crickets in these things, I'm going to be very, very upset. So check your labels. So train blockade. So there's going to be an organization. I'm not sure if it's the Freedom Convoy or another one is going to be so upset that they're going to be like, we have to do something drastic. And they're going to actually block the train, the rail system. So if you work for the trains or CN or whatever, just get a heads up. Like I said, the crazier, the more likely it's going to happen. I'm saying 6 months, but it could be sooner. There's two little options here. Okay. So that's going to happen. So that kind of goes back to maybe another opportunity where there will be empty food shelves, because I'm not sure what comes on trains, but I know that the rail system is very important, obviously, for our I want to say community, but that's not it. I'm thinking of the financial aspect of that. So that's going to happen. And then a silly little one I got also just before I came on to record the podcast is something about Lady Gaga. So it wasn't super clear what it was, but Lady Gaga and the paparazzi, I heard in my head before I recorded, I was like, is there any other predictions that I can share with the audience? And I heard paparazzi. So singing medium, you got to hear me sing once in a while. Lady Gaga and the paparazzi, there's going to be some kind of conflict. I know in the past that someone had stolen her dogs. I believe that someone took her dogs and then she got her dogs back. But there's going to be something going on with Lady Gaga and the paparazzi, because I'm having a vision right now of her putting on some super weird sunglasses, trying to do something. It's really weird. I'm not 100% sure with that one, but you'll see in the news eventually, either like in 6 months or a year, where Lady Gaga and the paparazzi, something went down. There was a conflict. I wish I had more information for you, but because it's so new, I don't have that knowing. But I really wanted to give you guys some more predictions, because I know you really like the ones that the podcast episodes that I put out there when it's psychic stuff. You guys eat it up. You eat it up like my Starburst with no crickets in it. Okay? You guys love it. So I thought it had been a while, and I'm going to give you some predictions. I wish I had more for you, but like I said, I turned it off. You know, being sick is no fun, but when you're psychic too, and you're having negative energy being thrown at you because of what your gift is, that can be very discouraging, you know? So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to turn off and then no one can bother me. But now that I'm feeling better, I'm like, okay, let's just see how it goes. So that's why they're trickling, and they're not a lot of them. You haven't seen a blog post in a while. That is why, my friends. All right. So that is it for this episode. It's a little bit shorter. It's 2222 as I look at the counter as I'm recording this. Very cool angel numbers. If you don't have my book yet, I don't know if you guys know that I wrote a book like 4 years ago. I wrote a book 4 or 5 years ago. It's called Unearth Your Intuition. It's on Amazon if you would like to purchase it. It's a lot about the new stages of spiritual awakening and the signs from spirit. So when I say 2222, that's angel number. I'm sure you are familiar with angel numbers, repeating numbers. But my book explains what each repeating number means. So if you don't have a copy yet, go to Amazon, Google Unearth Your Intuition, and grab a copy. It's only like $13, I'm pretty sure. There's 2 options of covers. There's different covers. There's 2 editions, actually. There's the original one with me on the cover with a white dress and a blue scarf. And then there is another one where I'm standing there posing awkwardly at my fireplace at my old house. So I think you can pick which one you get, maybe not. But either way, go get the book. It's on Amazon. Unearth Your Intuition. Hopefully one day another book comes out of me. But for right now, I'm just focusing on, you know, taking it easy, flow, seeing what the universe has for me. I said the other night, I'm like, show me what you got, universe. I'm completely handing it over to you. Show me what you got. That is the way I want to live my life, how I want to have this business. And whenever it's time for me to not be here anymore, I won't be here anymore in my business and doing readings. But you'll know, because I like to talk about things like that when I'm not sure what I'm doing. I like to be honest with you guys, and you know, I want to make sure it's relatable to you guys so you know what's going on, and so you don't feel like you're alone. So maybe you're going through a similar thing. All right. You can book your psychic reading for now. You just need to go to Instagram, elevate.hersoul, and go the link in the bio, so link tree. And there's a little button there where you can click on psychic reading, I believe. If not, I'll go put it on right now. You can grab a psychic reading and you can find out your future. You can ask questions about your life. It's very, very helpful when you're trying to make a decision. All right, that's enough promotion for now. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys all next Friday on the Singing Medium Podcast.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.